So we are on calf watch. The sheep have decided that they don't want to be part of the group anymore. They've all rushed off right over down there. They have no respect for the electric fence whatsoever, but it doesn't matter. The cows, however, are completely different kettle of fish. I just walked past the energizer and it was actually turned off. They don't care. They've been zapped once. That's enough for them, and so they don't bother challenging it anymore. They're actually pretty good. It's sort of time to move them again, though. They still have quite a lot of grass in this paddock. We're going through some serious storms at the moment. I don't know if you can see the clouds. We had a really bad storm last night. I think we're in for another one again today. But that's good because it's the grass is going mad. Hoping to time it right because really we would like them around the front so we can watch. But I don't think that's going to happen. And poor old Rodney. Actually, he chooses. I don't know why. He's funny. He chooses to stay with the heifers. I think he thinks he's a cow until of the second week of the month, in which case he runs off to the sheep because that's when they're on heat, and that's when he wants to be a sheep. Afterwards, he doesn't bother with them. He's not interested. As long as he gets his end away, that's it. But he does try and likes to be with them, protects them as such. And they don't seem too bothered by him. All right, well, no calves. To come back in a few days and see, or tomorrow and see if they're then. It's going to be soon, though, I reckon, by the size of their waist. Worrying actually how big these calves are going to be. Oh well.
We quickly collect some water before the storm and rains come. It's amazing blue sky one side of the farm and the other menacing black clouds.
Alright, we head in before I get wet.
And just like that, before you know it, the clouds and storm has passed and it's back to blue skies again. So now I can get on with planting the orchard. I've marked out roughly where I want the trees. I am sure with my OCD I will change the layout several times. Our neighbour kindly popped over and drilled the holes with his auger attachment, which made things a lot easier.
We dug the holes for the trees, and you can see quite compact. A lot of hard clay and rocks. So that was one of the questions why we used garden beds and not planted straight in the garden, purely because the ground is just not suitable for that sort of stuff. So we had to grow above ground. We're going to put a pipe in so we can water directly to the roots. It's a lot deeper than it needs to be, purely because we're going to put compost in the bottom, put the tree on top, then back with its original soil. We don't want to take this soil off, and then put this stuff on top, because we want the roots to have a really good foundation to start with. So hence why we're keeping the soil that they're in and putting compost. So it's got something nice for it to start to sprout into as such. And we're not going to be able to use this hole until we can drain it. We'll probably put some load of gypsum in it to try and improve the clay, and hopefully that'll help break up everything else and support the tree when it goes in. We don't have a tree for this hole yet, so that's okay. So we have our first tree in. This is our little lemon mayan. This was gifted to us by some great friends. The blue pipe. Now this is pool pipe, previous house, and this was the pipe, and it comes in little sections. We've drilled holes along the pipe so that the water escapes out the bottom and directly into the roots rather than sitting on the surface because of the clay. So this is our cherry tree. And the one thing that cherry trees suffer from is wind. They don't particularly like the wind. And we know that we have westerly winds here. And during spring, they can be really strong. So we have put the fencing around for the roos. Now, I know it's not particularly high, and the roos can easily get their noses in there and eat them, but at least it's a slight deterrent anyway. Netting on the outside to protect it from the wind, and we've had some serious winds since we put those in, and they've been fine, and they look really happy. That was recycled. We don't like to buy things. Spend money. Come on, we can recycle it. So that come off. Dog shelter, which I have plans for, not for dogs. Had netting all the way around the outside. You can see the bit at the top still. And if you look closely enough, we already have cherries. How exciting. So that's good. We're choosing our positions based on how they respond to the weather. So cherries and I know the lemon definitely doesn't like the cold. We're hoping the trees protect them from the cold, and I will probably put something around it to protect it even more. Cherries don't mind cold. They don't like wind or severe snow and frost. And the same with apricots. Apricots are susceptible, that word, anyway, to frosts as well. So there's an apricot there. The cherry doesn't need another cherry to propagate them, not propagate, to whatever it's called. And this is our other second apricot. So this is a late apricot. So the other apricot, that's going to fruit spring, summertime. This is going to fruit later, so that we have fruit sort of spread out further. I mean, they're probably not going to fruit this year. And then we've got our apple trees. So we've got 2 apple trees. You need to have 2 apple trees to cross-pollinate. That's the word I was looking for earlier. So this one is... I had to bury the labels because it's so windy that they were blowing off. So this is a pink lady, and this is a Granny Smith. We chose one each. Andy prefers the Granny. I had to stay up higher because of the cold. And then we've got down to the figs. Now I've got some extra spare holes we don't need. That means I've got to buy trees. Figs don't mind cold. They're quite actually not bad at all. This has been in a pot for a long time, last 2 years. So it is thought it's going to in heaven now. It's out in the garden. We've been waiting to work out where we were going to put it, but also we never bothered to plant it in our previous house. That's doing really, really well. And I also bought the other day this fig tree. So what we did do is we did leave them by the side of the house for a while to acclimatise to our conditions compared to where they came from. I mean, they didn't come that far away, an hour away, but still difference in temperature and stuff. So let them acclimatise first before we put them in the ground, because we didn't want to shock them. Put them straight into the ground, especially as our ground's rubbish, and then give them in the cold and the wind and all that stuff. So we've acclimatised them first before we put them in. So this is an olive. There's 3 olive trees here. I think we've got 2 greens and a black, I think. But these from a previous house as well. So these are from ours. So there's the other olive tree. And they've been growing in pots. I'm hoping to get a few more trees in here. We do have to be careful though, because... So this is our stormwater outlet. So when the tanks overflow, it comes straight out here. So we've got to be careful not to put them too close to this, because what we don't want to do is make their feet too wet and they rot. So we probably could get another tree in where the rubbish is, a bit further north of the rubbish. We've got to move, and then we'd have to be further over this way somewhere. That's like a jungle in there now. A project for a much later date. I keep looking at it thinking I must do it, and it's just hard work, that one. But there's like 4 ponds in there, whole ton of frogs, and and goldfish that we didn't even know we had until 6 months later after we moved in.
Anyway, another work day done, so it's time for another cuppa.
It's definitely any day now. You can see there are udders that are now really quite big, and so they are really, ready. She is going to be dropping soon. So this is number 6, Princess. We'd like to jump the fence and go and see George, if you remember in the video. So she's going to be due soon. These guys, they should due in a few weeks, 3 weeks later, possibly a bit longer. And if we check their udders, and you'll be able to see, you can see, you can't really see them, can you? So you can see that their udders aren't anywhere near as big. So that's how we know that she is due soon. It's got to be said though that considering they've got another few weeks to go yet, the one on the right, she is huge. So it'll be interesting whether she has twins. Or she's been stuffing on the pork pies, but she's really big. Andy thought this number 6 was big. And she is, but nowhere near as big as the other one, I don't think.
So we can keep a better eye on the cows, we move them to the front paddocks where we can see from the house.
Come on, Rodney.
Come on, Rodney, let's go. Rodney decides that he defines himself as a cow. Where the cows go, he must go. He needs a bit of a shorn, I reckon.
One good thing about these cows, they're really easy to move.
But we've put them in here so we can help if we need to, or more importantly, watch. We might have to move Rodney because I reckon he's going to be a pain in the arse when they're going to get annoyed with him. So he might have to go in the middle. They are funny. So the cow, I don't know if you can see the cow's licking the ram. He really has no idea what animal he is. It's quite sweet. I think you're pushing your luck now, mate. He's not frightened of him, he's a stupid bloody thing. Because they could easily trample him.
Backy pouch.
Backy pouch. Is that what you call her, backy pouch? Yeah, she's due, but you can see where where at the top of her tail, it's dropped. No, her back hasn't. Oh, look. Where her base of her tail is, it's gone sunken in. Can't see it now because she's decided to lay down. That's usually a sign too. It'd be really cool if she's about to give birth now, whilst I've got the camera out.
Sadly, like the sheep, we missed the birth. And the next morning, we discovered this.
Alright, so it's exciting news. We have a little baby calf. And it's born today. Literally must have been just born recently. Only purely because I went down there this morning and we didn't have a calf. And he just popped out because he said, I think something quite right. And there it is. And we think she must have just literally given birth. Well, now we had a pact that she was going to let me know when she was going to give birth, but she didn't make any noise or anything. I was half expecting a lot of brain, a lot of noise, a lot of stuff going on, but nothingness. But she chose the most worst day in the world to give birth as well. So it's cold and pouring with rain. Oh, look at that baby. How cute is that?
Lovely.
They are so, so gentle, these cows. It's great.
No, she's beautiful. Well, no, yours is coming.
You're starting to drop at your udders, aren't you? I reckon you will be next. It's not going to be long. I reckon you can come out half an hour or so earlier. I can't believe it's white though. I was half expecting it to be black because he was a black Angus. It's a little girl, by the way.
Was it?
Which is good. Could do with more girls. Need to come up with a name. No, I'm going to leave you alone. Rodney's a little bit apprehensive. Keeps wanting to go up and say hello.
Well, that was very uneventful.
It was actually. I was hoping for something much more exciting than that. I was hoping that we'd be able to watch or anything.
Right.
Yeah, I'm cold. I'm going to go in.
Yeah.
Get a cup of tea. It's going to be a competition. We're trying to work out who's going to be next. Now, I think she's going to be next. Now, if you look, that her tail's quite high and it's dropped down. She does have quite a prominent vag. It's no better polite way of saying it, but she does. And that's usually a sign that they're going to be going into labour soon. And her udders are a lot more fuller than the other one is. They're excited to see us because they think they're going to get something. They're coming for a little stroke. Come on. Come on, I only want to.
Until next time.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share.